So today we are going to create a responsive website. We are going to use the library W3.CSS. I like it. It is a small library. It's from W3 schools. It's neat. It's clean. I like the layout. I like the color scheme, and it's the easiest one to use. So I will introduce that first. So those of you who are keen to get the assignment going, you can start working on your assignment. I will show you some more libraries like Bootstrap, Skeleton, but today is W3.CSS. So what I've done is I've made a new folder, responsive web, term 2. In that folder, I have a CSS folder, an images folder, and a JavaScript folder. So from last week, you guys know that we often need a JavaScript folder if you get some jQuery. If you get a nice jQuery plugin, a nice jQuery gallery, we can put the JavaScript inside the JS folder. Okay? So can I just have your attention, and you can follow it later, okay? So can I just have your attention on the screen, please? And you can then follow this again, step by step. So I have these three folders. In my images folder, I've got 5 images. Today I'm going to try and create a page where my images stack up the way Stuart wanted it, next to each other. But also, if somebody was viewing it on a smaller device, it would stack one below the other. You wouldn't get a horizontal scroll bar saying that some images are on the right side. It would be responsive. So I've got my folder and 3 subfolders and some images. I will make up the content for these images and create a small responsive page. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to w3schools.com, and I'm going to learn W3.CSS. And it says it's a modern CSS framework with built-in responsiveness. I tried a lot of them. I really like this one. It has colors, it has everything. It's beautiful. The first thing that I need is the library itself. You can see this is the library. You can take this link as it is. Okay, you can take this link as it is. I'm going to make a new page. File, new. Let me set up my site. I like to set up my site. It's not necessary, but if you set up your site, it's better. I'm going to call it responsive web, and I'm going to choose my local folder, which was responsive web under web semester 1, responsive web term 2, and I can even go to advanced and say the default images folder is the images folder. So I have it here. Now I'm going to make a new file, which is going to be, I call it my master usually. I have a master file from which I then generate all the other pages. You might have noticed my style, but you can follow your own style. You can have index and then do save index as and generate the other pages. I leave that up to you. I'm creating a simple HTML file. I'm going to call this responsive web example. Once again, I'm obsessed here. I must give my page a title. Now within the head, I can put this link. See this? What this does is this links. Let me save this to master.html. This will link to the CSS, and if I click here, that's the CSS that it has linked to. It is small. You notice, unlike last week, when my spinner started going crazy, it loaded pretty fast. The only problem here is I sometimes get disconnected to the internet and my responsiveness will break and I'll be wondering what happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to have a local copy. I'm going to make a new CSS file. I'm going to paste it. It comes with all the copyright. And it is distributed under the MIT license or some open license. I'm going to save this CSS in the CSS folder. I'm going to call it w3css.css. So this is stored locally now. So here I can have one more link, and the href will be css/w3. Oh, what I called it something else. Sorry, I called it w3css.css. That's okay. I'll change it here. W3.CSS. And this one I will comment it out. Okay, but you can use this line. Okay, I'm only doing it because I don't want to get my page freezing up, or I don't want my page breaking up just because my internet has disconnected or timed out. So that's the first thing to do, to link up your library. Okay, that's my library. Beautiful. Now let's see. I need my header and navigation. Let me see. Does this navigation have a header? I think there's a nice example. I'm jumping straight to navigation here under W3.CSS. On the left panel, I'm clicking on navigation. And you can see my pattern is, like last week, I'm going to get examples and build my site from examples. There was a nice one I came across yesterday when I was preparing for this class. I think at the bottom. Yeah, something like this. Side nav. It was side nav. It was side nav. Something like this. And I like this. This is my favorite one. I use this a lot. You can see in my own website I've used it. It's my favorite one. Yep, this is the one. And this is the script that actually runs when I open it and I close it. Yeah. I went on and I tweaked it so that it closes as well with an animation, and they have also got a tweak here. You can see this closes with, no, it doesn't close with an animation. But we'll use this one. If I go to try it yourself, I should have an example. Maybe not that one, there's another one. Yeah, this is the one. This is the nice one. This pushes and it goes back. This is good. So I'm going to click on try it yourself and I'll try. There's an example here. Beautiful. It animates. So you can see they already have the link. I could start with this entire thing as my page. Okay. I could just copy this whole thing and have this as my starting point. I'm just going to take this meta tag for the viewport width and add that meta tag instead of mine. I have a link to the style sheet. Now inside body, I'm going to take whatever is inside body and I'm going to put it inside my body. That should give me a starting point. Now if I view this in Chrome, except for the image, I've got something happening. Now the script is not working. Why? Because which script is being called? What I did was, you see the style, I added an animate.css. But I will live with this for now. I don't want to complicate it too much. This is okay. I added an animate.css and I changed the CSS, or you can add a jQuery to have it animated. You can actually look up the code if you're really keen. You can just look up my example as to how I get this animated. You see this animation? You can just view my page source and you can see somewhere I've got show hide.js. And if you click on show hide.js, that's my JavaScript. Okay, that is my JavaScript. And I think I have also linked animate.css somewhere. Yeah, at the bottom of this I have, you can see I've pasted the animate.css. These are all the animate CSS styles for animations. I have all of them as well. So this is only for if you're feeling geeky and you want to do all of that stuff. But otherwise this is good. I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to call this my showcase. So my showcase, cool. Image, we will deal with that later. And let's look at the links. I had given some suggested links about 3D art skills contact. So that's a simple navigation. Now when you make the pages, you will change these links. You see this hash? This might be index.html. This might be 3d.html. This might be art.html. This could be skills.html. And that could be contact.html. So no ambiguity. Whatever is here, it's here, except it's in lowercase. So yeah, I've got my stuff. Now in your footer, you don't have to have a heading saying this is a footer. That's because nor do you need that heading in the heading saying it's a header. So in the footer, you can give your student number. Okay. Whatever student number is, just put your footer, and then that starts looking like an assignment. And you can go assignment web 1, assignment 2 of web 1, responsive web. Yeah, pretty good. Now, is that easy? I'm just typing text. No, what happened? Tell me, ask me questions. Nina, talk to me. Tell me what you missed. Tell me what is hard. You missed something? All I'm doing is I'm copying. And you like this. You like copying assignments, don't you? All I'm doing is I'm copying examples from here, W3.CSS. I'm copying it. I'm just copying this code and I'm pasting it. I copied this body because I liked it. And I removed the image because I didn't want it. Yeah? I've done a copy and paste. And you can watch this video, okay, later. You can watch it step by step, slowly. Play it at half the speed. Now, my voice will look really horrible, but you can play it at half the speed and just see where I'm clicking. So I've got my content. Sorry, I got my page. I haven't got my content. Okay, this is my page. Beautiful. Now you see the color. This by default you see this color teal. Okay, teal by default is the color. If I go to the footer, you can see teal. Let me show you colors. Color, W3.CSS colors. Now this is why I have my CSS sitting locally, because it keeps throwing me out, keeps timing out. Let's look at colors. So if I put red, W3 red, W3 pink, I get all of these colors straight away. I even have pastel shades. I can even have colored borders, colored containers. There is so much color here. Okay, you can even have your own colors. There are ways of getting the shades as well. Yes, it's all built in. It's all built in. That's the beauty of using a framework. That's the only way you can do rapid application development. I mean, otherwise, there's no way, if you were to honestly charge for your labor, to do a website for $200. You know, the amount of time you spend, that itself would put up a very high charge on your labor. It's only by using such frameworks are you able to generate things at a lower cost, beneficial for you, beneficial for customers. You feel good, you go and make a donation to these sites. That's their revenue. So that's the direction in which open source moves. It moves towards a model where people make donations, people buy some stuff, like, for example, Open Cart, which allows you to put a shopping cart. It's free, but the manual costs $25. So if you're a geek and you don't want the manual, cool, but that's where he makes the money, on $25. Plus, The default, when you set up OpenCart, it comes by default products of Samsung and Apple. So Samsung and Apple pay OpenCart so that when the cart is set up for the first time, you of course are going to edit it. But when you test the cart whether it has set up correctly, those products and the beautiful products that come up is of a store like JB Hi-Fi, and you see phones, tablets. So you see, revenue model is built in. And believe me, every time you see a logo on your television screen or in a movie screen, somebody has paid for that logo to be there. If you see a Woolies logo when a camera pans by, the cameraman and the TV producer has been paid to actually pass by that logo. If a Woolies truck goes on the road in a movie, it's been paid for. So revenue is hidden. Without revenue, the world won't work, okay? But it has become easier. So this built-in stuff, Stuart, is great because it helps you to develop things faster. Now just see how quickly I'm going to change the color. Deep inside this page, it also has how to change the shades, okay? But you see, you can actually have light blue. You can have things like colors, and then you can have light, W3-light green, and that's just text. But even background and everything can have light and dark. You can have a lot more shades. But let's say for my site, I want teal is a really nice color. But let's say for some reason, I want deep purple. The moment I change teal to deep purple, hallelujah. Is that all that I needed to do? Yes. Oh, it has to be W3.deep purple. And that is defined. If you want to see where it is defined, you can go here, and if I search for purple, it is defined inside this text somewhere. See this? W3 purple and W3 deep purple. This is where it is defined. Cool? That the color on top of this will be white and the background color will be deep purple. You can go blue. I might go light blue just so that it's easier on my eyes and I can complete this task. So I've gone light blue now. And I'm going to go somewhere at the bottom, and deep purple becomes light blue. Okay, so let me go back to my page and test it. Light blue it is, easy on my eyes. The whole idea of using a framework is you must see the documentation for the framework and see what you need. Okay, you have to read the documentation, and this is learning. This is self-learning. It is not possible for me to know all the frameworks and all of the libraries by heart. And that's why I like to use a framework which not only has good documentation, it has great examples. Now we are learning Unity in scripting, and we are learning how to make a game. Unity has great examples. It's one of the best things you can use to learn game programming, just because of the examples that are available in it. Coming back here, I'm going to put my products, its photo, its description and price here. So let me come into my container. I come into my container and I put a heading 1 and I say my bikes, or let's say bikes, or I'll go product bikes H1. Now I want something that will allow me to put a product. You can see there are a lot of things here which are useful. Look at this. And you can put some animate, and these things will animate as well. You have things like tabs. Okay? And there's an example. Beautiful. It says put each of your tab content like this, and then put a URL on top, and then you have your simple JavaScript function there. Add a JavaScript, and bang. So I would normally put the JavaScript in the JS folder and link to it just to be organized, okay? But there you are, UL, the divs, and the script is here. Now bear in mind, those of you who are fanatic like me, who like to have the scripts organized in a separate folder, when you put it in a separate folder, just bear in mind the link will come down here because the script is down there. Okay, so you put the link down there. So there are many ways of putting products, but I am really interested in a card. You see these cards? I can have a product name, I can have a product description, I can have the price inside this button, and I can have something else, a disclaimer. If you fall off this bike, don't sue us, kind of stuff, but with a nice card. I can have one with a shadow. You can choose your poison, you know. Right now, I need to show you how things can collapse. So I'm going to use an example from images because I want to show you a collapsing grid. Grid is where you have these div tags sitting next to each other and they start collapsing one below the other. So, you know Facebook, I mean, you can scroll endlessly. It doesn't come side by side. You don't scroll sideways. So it opens up on a broader page, but on a phone, it collapses. So under images, yeah, something like this. My friend Stuart, again, another gallery. So when you do responsive, this is going to be your stuff. So when you do something and you need a gallery, this is a good thing. So let me try this. Okay, and if I collapse it, see that? Beautiful. It stacks beautifully one below the other, and it's even responsive up to a certain point. It will work for the smallest mobile width. It will work. Now I just need, so there's a container. Yep, this is summer. That's the heading. Oh yeah, I can even have my products like this. If I want, you see this products that I have here on top. Let me see how it looks. Instead of summer, I'm going to put product bikes. Let me see if that heading actually looks good. And light blue, teal. Yeah, maybe. I'm just going to comment the other one out. Apply HTML comment. Yeah, I could do that. But I'll go for a pastel shade. You see, header and footer can be the same color. I'm just getting a bit anal here, but I want to show you the stuff I do to make things a bit better. So there's light blue, there's cyan. Cyan will also work. Let me see. Come here, take this guy, make it cyan. No, wrong one. This guy. So yeah, I've just made that into a different shade, product bikes. Good. So my heading has got a slightly different demo, and I'm going to images. Yeah, this was the one. So I have a row, and then inside the row I've got these ones, these thirds. I'm going to take these guys. This row has got quite a bit of cells. I'm going to take them. I need only one really. I'm going to take one cell. I'm going to take one cell. And that one cell, I'm going to put it in my body. So my body has got navigation. Then I have this heading. And then I have my footer. Okay, I'm going to put a comment here. Product list. Now I'm not using a list as in a list tag, and product list, and I've got one bike, one photograph. Okay, let's see. Okay, so my footer needs to go down. Because this is a third, my footer is trying to sit on the side, so I just need to add a style, and this is where our coding will come in handy. Style clear both. I don't want my footer going and sitting next to that guy. And all of my products, I'm going to put them inside one div tag. Class equals it should pull this up. So I've just added an extra container around my product, okay? An extra container, and footer I've said clear both. Let me see how it looks now. Okay, the footer has gone down, pretty good. Yep. And I'm also going to say margin 0, just so that it goes all the way to the end. Does it? Oh, it's inside the container for some reason. Yeah, I got my div muddled up. So that's one product, div starting here, div ending here. This is the container for the products. That's the container for the products, and my footer. My footer now should be okay. Yeah, okay, so that's good. I don't want it to stick too much close to this product, so I might do things like margin hyphen top 20 pixels. Yeah, so you can see how I'm tweaking this. I'm tweaking the library with my knowledge. Now let's get our products. My image is going to be, it's not picking up my folders. That's okay. Images slash cycle1 cycle1.jpg, and that should work. Let's test it. Yeah, good. Now this is where I'm going to start using the content. I'm going to call it neon rider. I'm going to give it a paragraph, bit of description. This neon rider is a great bike for early morning and late night cycle riders because of its high visibility neon color. Yeah, let's give it a price. I could put the price on a small button there. Yeah, I could put the price on a small button. I saw a button, and let me see if there's a button. Input button, just a button. A button comes in different colors. Lovely. Okay, we'll give teal a go. Okay. Which one is khaki? It's khaki. Oh, khaki, yellow, orange, aqua blue, indigo. We'll take indigo. or we might take orange. Just go orange. I'm going to put a price to it. Somebody, what's the price of this bike? He's a serious cyclist, man. Doesn't look like 4,000. We'll make it a bit 400. Knock 1 0 off. Yeah, with hard titanium. I'm increasing my carbon fiber. Yeah, okay. So $400. Cool. What I might do is I might put the P tag outside this just so that it doesn't stick. Yeah. I might put a P tag here as well. /P. Give this also a P tag just so that it has a bit of space around it, so it's not sticking to the borders. So I got one product. Good. And this is the main part. Once you get one product, let's say you've got your 3D or your artwork and you have it in such a way that you click on it, it opens up. You can have that if you want to. But or you can just have it big enough so it occupies the entire width. Okay? So don't make it extra hard on yourself. Keep it simple. So I got one product. And I'm just going to make this a bit more compact. So it's got div within div within div. Okay, it's got a container and a row. I'm just going to take this whole thing again, make it cycle 2. It should go next to each other. What I've done is I've by mistake copied the container itself again, which I should not. So I have a container. You see in my example that I had, it is going next to each other. And I probably have missed this one, row padding. So I have this one, row padding, and I have a container, I have a row padding, and this row padding probably has to go all the way at the bottom. That's why when you copy the example, be very careful, or copy the whole example. I'm going to call this one product 1. Product 1. So I think that is product 1. Product 2. And then you pray and you hope that you have done the right thing. Yeah. So yeah, it's supposed to come because the example I looked at already had a row defined. You can see the example that I looked at. If I come up here, you see it has got a row defined with padding. And inside that row, it has got elements. And those elements are, you see third, W3 third is 1/3 column. Okay. Card 2 is the type of the border and the type of the shading. So if you go here and say see cards, you can see card 2, 2 pixel bordered shadow, card 4, 4 pixel bordered shadow. So it's got card 2 type. But the main reason I chose it was because it already had the responsiveness for thirds in that example. And you can change it to fourths, I think you can change it to eighths, the different kind of column and grid layouts. So coming back to my Dreamweaver. So I got container and padding, very important. So if I click on container here, you can see it will end here. And this one will correspond to the row. Good. Product 1, product 2. Product 2 is bicycle 2. Bicycle 2 is a red bicycle. I'm going to call it red X. It's red Create first for kids. So now I've got my second product. Oh, the height is going to be responsive. Yeah, interesting. I'm going to have to put some dummy text here, dummy NBSP. I'll have to have my description a bit bigger. Spaces? Yes, this would work. NBSP, non-breaking space, would work. Yeah, that would work. I don't like those kind of things, those kind of solutions, but it's great. If I have to do it, that's the way I'll do it. So do I put some more? Because also the thing is, because we are talking mobile first, it should be first viewable on the mobile and then on others. Now you can see it's sticking too close. I can live with that. On a mobile, if you start putting margins and padding, it will start getting longer. This is actually good. I can put a margin. If it was for desktop, I would have gone and added a margin top. But in mobile, you want the scroll to be faster. So make it compact. But you want it readable. That's why you want these kind of things. And look at that button. Oh, nice. It's got a nice button type. Look at the shadow. Pre-built. Out of the box. Beautiful. So I'm just going to go product 3, 4, 5. So that's 5, cycle 5. That's 4, cycle 4. And you can see how useful it is to rename your files in a beautiful way. And that's product 3, cycle 3. I don't know, might be an expensive one. And now I have my page. Bang. 37 minutes. 37 minutes it took. So Nina, if you watch this video, it will take you 37 minutes to watch. At half speed, 70 minutes. In 1 hour, you should be able to do one page of your assignment. So I'm going to stop this here. This is all I wanted to introduce you to today. Okay? I will make another page with the contact form, but this is enough for today.